And Minnesota is indeed your clear winner. Second place is neck and neck between Colorado and Washington, with Colorado having a very slight edge. And it is Colorado over Washington in this race 106, men's second Varsity 8 B final event. And we are currently at the awards dock having an awards ceremony for race event 105. This is our men's freshman novice 8, where the third place finisher, University of California, Santa Barbara. And in second place, we have the University of Virginia. And your first place winner in event number 105, the men's freshman novice 8 boat, Orange Coast.
North Carolina, Grand Valley, and Purdue. And as you might expect in nicely matched programs, these boats are out pretty even. Purdue up at, Virginia up at about a 45 in their opening sprint. Michigan at 44. And those two crews asserting themselves, Virginia up by a seat or two in this opening sprint, actually pushing quite hard. Now they've settled into their base with 3 or 4 seats up on Michigan. Make that the Virginia coxswain on the 6th seat, the 3 seat of Michigan, so 6 seats up. Virginia having shot out to a start in this first minute. Michigan in second, sitting right on Virginia's tail. UC Santa Barbara, Bucknell, Grand Valley, and UNC all within a seat of each other right behind. Virginia comes through this first 500 in 1:24. Very nice starting speed for a 2v8, and their coxswain is sitting on the bowman of Michigan. Michigan's coxswain on the bow balls of those 4 trailing boats, Grand Valley, North Carolina, Bucknell, and UCSB. So the question will be now, what happens with the base speed? Virginia's base speed and Michigan's base speed seem to be fairly even, but Virginia has a fair amount of lead to be able to take up. The Virginia coxswain looking over to see if they're moving, to see if she can break that bow ball. She's calling for a move, and it's sort of working, but Michigan is hanging in there as well and not quite letting them get away. Virginia up at 37.5, just now almost breaking the bow ball of Michigan. Michigan also at 37.5, and those two crews open water ahead. Grand Valley and Bucknell now pushing into third. Michigan pushing back into Virginia as they come into the 1,000, and actually now a steady little march. They were not able to break the bow ball, and that's one of the things you try and tell coxswains always to do. If you're going to break a crew, get open water, because as long as the crew that's trailing can sense that you're there, they'll be coming. And this Michigan crew is trying to do just that, going through the 1,000 in 2:57 and 2:58 and change. And they're still sitting Virginia about 6 seats up on Michigan in a very tight race. Virginia in control right now. We'll just see what Michigan's second 1,000 has, or whether Virginia has been able to regroup and get something going. In this third place battle, it's tight. It is tight. We have Grand Valley and Bucknell within a seat of each other. UCSB 2 seats behind that, and they're even with North Carolina. And there is a huge amount of race as those 4 crews all have a shot at this bronze medal. Michigan and Virginia still locked in about the same margin that they had. Michigan again slowly creeping up into Virginia, but not sure whether it will be enough or not. Both crews suspending nicely, moving. Virginia 37.5 still. Michigan 38 and moving at 1500. 420. A nice solid crew, nice solid race. It looks like Virginia has this under control. And now on the far side of this course, we have Bucknell and UCSB having moved up on Grand Valley and North Carolina. And there's a heck of a race going there on the far side of the course to be able to get that bronze medal. Michigan still trying to push up into Virginia. Virginia not seeming to have any care about that, taking their rating up and starting their sprint. This is going to be a great set of finishes, and you should get down to see it.
Varsity 8, 107. Virginia continues to lead slightly over Michigan. And it is going to be Virginia, your winner over Michigan. And Santa Barbara taking third in this race, 107, and second, Varsity 8. And we're away in racing event number 108. This is our men's quad grand final. Your lineup starting from lane 2, we have Michigan, followed by Virginia, Denver, George Mason, Texas, and in your near lane 7, California, Santa Barbara. And we are now at the 1,000-meter halfway mark of race event 108. This is our men's quad grand final, where George Mason is currently in the lead, followed by Virginia and Texas in third place. We are now at the awards dock presenting medals for our race event 107, the men's second Varsity 8 race, where coming in third we have University of California, Santa Barbara. Your second place finisher, Michigan Rowing. And your winner of the men's second Varsity 8, University of Virginia. With 250 meters remaining in event 108, our men's quad grand final, the George Mason boat continues to show the way out front, followed by Virginia and California Santa Barbara in third. George Mason takes the win in a dominating style, showing them all how it's done in this race event 108, men's quad grand final. Your second place is Virginia. And third goes to the Denver boat. And we are currently underway in racing with event number 109. This is our women's varsity lightweight 4. Your lineup, starting with lane 3, we have Georgia Tech, followed by Purdue, Washington State, and Texas in lane 6. And we are now at the 1,000-meter halfway point of race event 109. This is the women's varsity lightweight 4 grand final. At the halfway, we have Purdue as your leader, followed by Washington State and Georgia Tech currently in third. And currently at the awards dock, we have event 108. This is our men's quad grand final. Your third place finisher in this event, University of Denver. Second place, University of Virginia. And a very strong win, George Mason Crew. With 250 meters remaining in this race event 109, the women's varsity lightweight 4 grand final. Purdue continues to lead. Your second place boat is currently Georgia Tech, followed by Washington State in third. And the win goes to Purdue. We've got a good battle going on for second place. And it looks like Washington State takes second over the Georgia Tech boat in third. And that completes race 109, the women's varsity lightweight 4 grand final. And we are currently underway with race 110. This is our men's varsity lightweight 4 grand final. And your lineup for this race, starting in lane 1, you have the University of Southern California Trojans. Fight on, boys. Lane 2, we have Orange Coast, followed by San Diego State, Washington State, Michigan, Northwestern, California, Santa Barbara, and in your near lane 8, Chicago.
So, following this announcer's fabulous dancing hippopotamus impression on the dock, getting back up here, we now have the men's varsity lightweight 4 final coming down, and they are just coming through 500 meters here. USC, Orange Coast, San Diego State, Washington State, Michigan, Northwestern, Santa Barbara, and Chicago. And as they come up towards us at about 700 meters, we have Michigan in front by a seat or two over Washington State. Michigan at a 35, striking hard, nice and suspended through the middle of the boat. Washington State also doing the same thing at about a beat higher, 36. They're in 1 and 2. And then San Diego State, Orange Coast, and USC on the far side, all locked in to a pretty good race. The 3 crews on the near side, Northwestern, Santa Barbara, and Chicago, also locked in a race about a length down. But coming into the 1,000, Michigan is bow to stern on Washington State. Those 2 crews moving out on the rest of the field. Right now, that means that's leaving San Diego State in 3rd place, a couple of seats up over Orange Coast and USC. Little bit of wobbliness in all of the boats. Michigan, again, not quite able to get an open bow ball on Washington State, and you never want to leave a crew that openness if you can. But coming through the wires here at about 1,200 meters, Michigan just starting to open up a little bit of open water, a little more drive out of them on the front half of the stroke over Washington State. Otherwise, the 2 crews are fairly even. Michigan a little raggedy right now in their finish work, trying to put a push, it seems, On the far side, the race between USC, Orange Coast, and San Diego has quickened up a little bit, and Northwestern is pushing back up in as well. Right now, it seems like San Diego State is a seat or two up on USC, but the USC boys are pulling very nicely on their oars together. Very, very smooth. The San Diego State guys a little bit rougher, a little bit tougher, and we'll see again whether that works or not as USC is moving back into them a little bit. Meanwhile, Orange Coast getting dropped and Northwestern coming into Orange Coast. Out in the front end of the race, we still have Michigan in front of Washington State by a length, but there's not more than a length as we come into 1,500 meters, 500 meters to go. We'll see who's got the better sprint to win or take this. And now it looks like Michigan is pushing away Washington State in second and San Diego State in third, but with USC still pushing hard. We'll see who has a sprint. Northwestern trying to pop into it, USB trying to pop into it to see who gets third. So another great race coming into the final. And we'll just let you watch and cheer for the last 300 meters here as Michigan seems to be headed in for gold.
And with 250 meters left to go in this race event 110, the men's varsity lightweight 4 grand final. Michigan with a slight advantage over Washington State. And it looks like we've got USC in lane 1 making a strong move for third place. And it will be Michigan beating Washington State. And third place goes to San Diego State. And at the awards dock, we are currently having a medal ceremony for race event number 109. This is our women's varsity lightweight 4 grand final. Your third place finisher, the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech. In second place, Washington State. And your winner of this women's varsity lightweight 4 grand final is Purdue.
And we are now in event 111, which is the men's single B final. In lane 1 on the far side, we have Illinois. Lane 2, Orange Coast. Lane 3, Emory A. Lane 4, Georgia Tech. Lane 5, UCSB. Lane 6, Georgia. Lane 7, Penn State. And in the lane closest to you, we have Rochester. And coming across the 1,000-meter mark halfway through event number 111, we have Georgia in first, UCSB following closely behind, and Georgia Tech in third place.
And we are currently at the awards dock doing the awards ceremony for event 110. This is our men's varsity lightweight 4 grand final. Your third place boat, University of California, San Diego. Second place, Washington State. And your winner for the men's varsity lightweight 4 grand final, Michigan. And we are coming down with 100 meters to go in this event 111. This is our men's single final. And it is awful close for the lead. And the win goes to the University of Georgia, followed by Emory and California, Santa Barbara, in this men's single final, event 111. And we are now underway with race event 112. This is the men's single grand final. And your lineup, starting with lane 1, we have Michigan, followed by Bucknell, Michigan State, Charleston, Chicago, Seattle, Virginia, and in your near lane 8, Michigan State. And we are past the halfway point now in this race event 112. This is our men's single grand final, where you currently have Seattle as your leader, followed by the Michigan State B boat and Chicago sitting in third. With 200 meters to go in this race 112, the men's single grand final, Charleston is currently your leader, followed by Chicago and the Michigan State B-Boat. And it is Charleston taking the win in this men's single final. Chicago takes second. And third is Too Close to Call. And that completes race 112, the men's single grand final. And we are currently off in racing, underway with race number 113. This is our women's Varsity 4B final. Starting from lane 2, we have Denver, followed by Purdue, Marquette, High Point, Washington University, and in lane 7, Wichita State. And we are now at the 1,000-meter halfway mark for our race event 113. This is our women's varsity 4B final, where Washington University is currently your leader, followed in second by Marquette and High Point. And currently at the awards dock, we are handing out our medals for race event 112. This is the men's single grand final race. In third place, we have the Michigan State B-Boat. In second place, University of Chicago. And your winner in the men's single grand final race, College of Charleston.
And we have a start in the grand final of the women's varsity 4. They're actually about 300 meters in, and we're sitting up at about the 700 meter mark. So we will be calling that a little bit closer when we get in. Right now, what you have out here is New Hampshire, Ohio State, William & Mary, Vermont, Cincinnati, Northwestern, Emory, and UC Santa Barbara. From where we are right now, it looks all fairly close. As they come through the 500, I wouldn't hazard a guess on leaders yet.
And we're down the last 100 meters in race event 113. This is our women's varsity 4B final. And it's Marquette taking the win over Washington University and Purdue. In that race 113, the women's varsity 4B final.
Northwestern hanging around there. Northwestern actually a little bit up on William & Mary as they come in. So as they hit about the 800 meter mark, we have Vermont 2 seats up on Cincinnati who is 2 seats up on Northwestern, who is bow to stern on William and Mary. And then in lane 7, we have Emory 2 seats behind that. On the far side, Ohio State, a seat or 2 up on New Hampshire, and UCSB trailing. So an awesome race for medals going on right here between Vermont and Cincinnati. Vermont long through the water at about a 35. Make that a 36, but missing some water. Cincinnati a little bit better blade work, getting the blade down in, not quite as much pop at about a 34. What that means here is that Cincinnati has someplace to go, and they're doing that right now. Well, they just pushed even, and Vermont said, no, we don't think so. They seem to be taking a little move between the 1,000-meter mark and the wires at 1,200, and they've taken their 2 seats back out. Cincinnati seems to be feeling that move, a little bit more slumped after that, and Northwestern is taking advantage to move up to close within about 2 seats there. So we have 4, 5, and 6 in a little sort of mini chevron with William and Mary in lane 3 and Emory in lane 7, absolutely even. This William and Mary crew, very tall, strong, statuesque in their rowing. But they're only down at about 32 and a half, and they're being outrated. They sort of look like if they could just go a little higher with their rating, they would start to move through people. This Northwestern crew now making a move to move up into Cincinnati. Cincinnati making a move to pull up into Vermont. Those 3 almost even, and here comes William and Mary taking a move. Here comes Emory taking a move as well. So now it's almost like there are 4 crews in contention for medals, and it could be any place from gold to silver to bronze among them. At 1,500 meters, almost dead even, Cincinnati and Vermont, with Northwestern a seat down, and with Emory moving hard as the big women in the middle of that boat start to pop the rating a little bit, up to a 34 now, and they're moving. So we'll see who has the last 500, but this is going to be a great final race here. 4 crews in contention, any one of them could win gold. Great race to watch here.
With 200 meters to go in this race event 114, our women's varsity 4 grand final, we currently have Vermont leading Cincinnati and Emory in 3rd. Neck and neck going to the line. First and second are too close to call between Cincinnati and Vermont. Emory picks up the 3rd position in this women's varsity 4 grand final. And we are underway with event 115. This is our men's varsity 4B final. Your lineup starting from lane 1, we have Boston College, followed by Ohio State, Virginia, Massachusetts, Orange Coast, San Diego State, Notre Dame, and Penn State in lane 8. And your official final results in race event 114, the women's varsity 4 grand final. It was Cincinnati defeating Vermont in second and Emory in third place. So congratulations, Cincinnati.
Massachusetts tries to get back on terms with that race. And we are currently at the 1,000-meter halfway mark of race event 115. This is your men's varsity 4B final, where currently Orange Coast is your leader, followed by Virginia and Massachusetts in third. And we have a start here in the men's varsity 4 grand final. Wichita State, Michigan, Michigan State, UC Davis, George Mason, UCLA, Vermont, and UCSB.
And with 100 meters to go in this race event 115, our men's varsity 4B final, your current leader is Orange Coast, with Virginia and Massachusetts in hot pursuit. Very close for the top three at the front. And your winner is Orange Coast, followed by Virginia in second and Massachusetts finishing third.
UC Davis, in fact, almost even as we're about to hit the 500. Michigan
and we are currently at the awards dock to present medals for event number 114. This is our women's varsity 4 grand final. Finishing third, we have the Emory crew. In second place, the University of Vermont. And your winner of the women's varsity 4 grand final, University of Cincinnati. Congratulations.
That Casper sitting a little low in the water, and it's helping, it's making it harder for the guys to get their blades down to the water, so there's a little inefficiency around the front end, but they're definitely pushing hard, and in the end, pushing hard makes all the difference. So coming into about 750, we have 4 boats across the front, those being Michigan taking a move up on the far side into UC Davis, George Mason, and Vermont. 3 of those crews right with a bow ball. For all intents and purposes, UC Davis just slightly, barely in front of Michigan, barely in front of Vermont. Now Michigan taking a push here, coming through about 800, and they and UC Davis are starting to move away a little bit. Michigan State getting dropped. Vermont keeps taking these little moves to pop themselves back up and get in the race. And we're coming through the 1,000 in a very fast 3:20. Again, those 3 crews absolutely locked in, bow fall for bow ball, UC Davis, Vermont, and Michigan, with George Mason sitting about 2 seats down. Vermont taking another push here. All 8 of these boats, though, within 2 lengths. So it's fairly nice. The outside 2 crews, Wichita State and UCSB, just barely losing contact. And here goes UC Davis putting a move to push up. And here comes Mason, and here comes UCLA. So now we have not 3, but 5 foul balls up into this race. UCLA putting a big push to move up, right tied for second with Michigan, and Michigan putting a push to get even back up with UC Davis. Meanwhile, UCLA moving past Vermont and moving past Michigan. So we have UCLA sitting in second, and that's pulling Vermont up with them. Michigan pushing on the far side as well. Their bowman looking over to see where they are. And right now, UC Davis has been putting on a move here, coming into the 1500, and they sort of have a length over the rest of the field with UCLA on the march, Michigan marching, Vermont marching, George Mason in there as well. as we hit 1,500 in just under 5 minutes. So it's going to come down to who has some sprint here. UC Davis throwing it down, stepping up to 37, make that a 38. UC Davis pushing, Mason pushing back up in, maybe taking a few seats on Michigan. Vermont a seat or two up on Michigan. So right now it's Vermont and it's Mason racing for third with Michigan on the outside pushing hard as well. It's going to be up to who has a sprint. Vermont cranking it up to a 39. Mason and Michigan putting moves on. Here comes UCLA.
And with 50 yards to go in this race event 116, our men's varsity 4 grand final continues to be California Davis takes the win. UCLA is second. And Vermont is your third place finisher in this men's varsity 4 grand final. And we are underway with race event 117. This is our women's varsity 8 B final. Your lineup starting from lane 1, Georgia, followed by Virginia Commonwealth, Colorado, California Davis, Chicago, Illinois, and in your near lane 7, we have Vanderbilt.
but right next to them, UC Davis. Colorado also even with Davis. Vanderbilt up right in that matching group as well. Georgia on the far side, only a few seats down. And then Illinois and Virginia Commonwealth trailing a little bit. A great race coming your way. We're going to go up to the start and catch as much of this varsity women's final as we can.
And we're currently at the awards dock for our medal presentation on race event 116. This is the men's varsity 4 grand final. Your third place finisher is Vermont. Your second place finisher, UCLA. And your winner is the University of California, Davis. Congratulations in the men's varsity 4 grand final. And we're currently at the halfway 1,000-meter mark of race event 117. This is your women's varsity 8B final. Currently the leader is Chicago, followed by California Davis, and in third place is Colorado.
And we're up here at the start of the women's varsity 8 grand final in the eerie silence that precedes the race. UCSB Santa Barbara's second varsity 8, Oregon, Purdue, Grand Valley, Santa Barbara's varsity 8, New Hampshire, UC Davis's varsity 8, and Wichita State, and they're off.
And we have 300 meters left in this race event 117, the women's varsity 8B final. And currently Chicago is your leader, followed closely by Colorado and University of Georgia in third place. And it is Chicago powering to the win over Colorado. And your third place boat is too close to call, so we'll have to get the official results on that for you as soon as we can in the women's varsity 8B final.
Then across the back end here, we have Wichita State, Davis, and New Hampshire all even, with Oregon on the far side. The only crew sort of off the pace in that middle group between places 4 and 7 is the Santa Barbara JV. This Varsity 8 race, though, up at the front for the medals is a humdinger. We still have Santa Barbara at 36, a seat up on Grand Valley. Grand Valley women giving some push to that back, trying to get up in there, and they are just now at about 700 even, but these two boats are surge for surge, taking something from each other, and now Grand Valley just barely sneaking its bow ball out in front, maybe a seat up. Purdue also coming up, so you wonder, did Santa Barbara throw something early that they're going to pay for now as we approach the second half of the race? So Grand Valley inching out 2 seats up now on Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara 3 seats on Purdue. Those 3 crews open water on the rest of the field, which is led by New Hampshire in 4th. New Hampshire's bow ball maybe just barely getting into Purdue, but the 3 medalist crews seem to be up there. Grand Valley 3 seats up on Santa Barbara. Now the 2 boats are moving even again. Purdue pushing up into Santa Barbara, only maybe 1 seat behind. All 3 crews within 4 seats coming through the 1,000. Again, we're going to see here how conditioning and stroke rating and race plan comes into this. It looks like Grand Valley trying to take a few more seats coming through the 1,000. They've maybe got 1. They're up at a 37. UCSB at a 36, and UCSB is not going away. Grand Valley normally comes down here and in past years has just been able to move away from people, and they're not quite doing it the way they're used to. Little minor bit of wake came across all 3 crews. Doesn't seem to have affected them at all, and in fact Grand Valley has used that to move up, and I think they got hit the worst by a tiny little ripple though. So John Bancari, don't lose your cool. Everything still's good. Still, Grand Valley 3 or 4 seats up on Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara 2 seats up on Purdue. There's a hell of a race, and those 3 crews now open water on the rest of the field. Santa Barbara trying to put a push in, but the Grand Valley strokes just seem a little bit stronger, just seem a little bit more connected, and they're managing to stay out in front. The spunk showing up in the body language of the Grand Valley coxswain, giving little punctuations with her neck, getting her crew to get up there and try and take about 6 seats up now. Santa Barbara 2 seats up on Purdue. Those 3 are going to have the medals, and it looks now like Grand Valley has the gold well in hand, but we'll have to see what happens between Santa Barbara and Purdue. The rest of the crews in a chevron behind them, with New Hampshire sitting right now in 4th. So lots to cheer for coming down to the grand final of the women's Varsity 8 with only about 300 meters left between now and the medals.
And with 100 meters left to go in this race event, 1:18, the women's Varsity 8. Grand Valley continues to lead, but it is the Santa Barbara A boat making a strong push for the lead. Here they come, approaching the line. And it is a dead heat between Grand Valley and the Santa Barbara A boat. Purdue is your third place finisher in this race event 118, the women's Varsity 8 Grand Final. I'd like to give you a quick update for official scoring on the race event 117, the women's Varsity 8. Vanderbilt did indeed finish third in that race, and we'll try to get you the winner of 118 as soon as we have it. And ladies and gentlemen, the official result of race 118, the women's Varsity 8 Grand Final. Your third place finisher is indeed Purdue. Second place is California Santa Barbara A. And your winner is Grand Valley. And we are now underway with event race number 119. This is our men's Varsity 8 B final. Your racing lineup, starting from lane 1, we have Minnesota, followed by Bucknell, New Hampshire, Washington State, Notre Dame, Boston College, Cincinnati, and in your near lane 8, Pittsburgh.
Up there on the outside, there's a great race coming down at you, and we're going to go and pick up the last race of the day, the men's Varsity 8 Grand Final.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to ask and urge you again, if you have enjoyed the event this weekend and wish to continue seeing it be held here at the 1996 Olympic venue, if you would go by the Lake Lanier Juniors tent on your way out and fill out a survey form. We are having an issue with the Corps of Engineers and allocating usage of the event venue for this weekend. And your support would be greatly appreciated by us and would help to ensure that we can continue this ACRA Championship event here at the 1996 Olympic venue. I thank you very much.
And so, as you're probably just seeing the final come down in the B final, the A final is all locked on, the grand final of the men's Varsity 8 here. Only 2 programs have ever won this event. Michigan with 5 victories, Virginia with 2. And they've been going after each other all season. Virginia has a victory, and Michigan has 1 victory. North Carolina has been showing some excellent speed. They're also up here. So we have 8 crews: Purdue, Cal Irvine, Virginia, Michigan, North Carolina, Grand Valley, UC Santa Barbara, and Delaware. Crews from the West Coast, crews from the Midwest, crews from the East Coast, crews from the South. So this is truly a national championship. This Delaware crew here in lane 1 is actually a bunch of lightweights who have come up to race against the big boys, but they've been doing that all season. They are the Dadvale champion lightweight 8. They also beat Harvard lightweights in a dual race this season, and they beat both Virginia and Michigan early in the season. So they have some speed to throw down. The 2 California crews have been duking it out all season. Grand Valley, Michigan have had more races than either team cares to count right now.
And with 250 meters left to go in this event number 119, the men's Varsity 8 B final, Boston College is currently your leader over Washington State and Bucknell in third. With 50 meters to go, we've got 3 boats in contention for the win. This one is really going to come down to the wire. And it is. First and second currently too close to call. We're going to have to wait on that. And Bucknell takes the 3rd place finish. So we'll get you that first and second as soon as it's official.
Stopped. Just inside the breakage zone, the race was stopped. All the crews pulling back up. No idea what's happened yet. Fair number of hands going up with some version of what the bleep happened. No one quite knows what the deal is, but this is the way racing works. And a little bit of a hand up from the Delaware boat, who was out in front maybe at that point, or maybe they were just the last ones to stop their sprint. They're claiming a moral victory here. Crews are backing up or spinning, trying to find out why they called it back. It's not immediately apparent. We don't see any breakage. But Purdue, actually now we see, did not start. So this is interesting. When a crew doesn't start, the referees did exactly what they're supposed to do. They stopped the rest of the race. It was just hard with 7 crews going to notice that the 8th one wasn't there. If a crew isn't ready to start, a good coxswain will hold them and make everyone else come back. This is fully within the rules. Purdue may or may not be charged a false start. We'll let you know in a little bit. And we'll all get back up and back on and let you know when they're ready to start again.
And we now go down to our awards dock for the medal presentation for event number 118. This is our women's Varsity 8. Your 3rd place finisher is Purdue. 2nd place, University of California, Santa Barbara. And your winner for this women's Varsity 8, Grand Valley State. Congratulations. So I'd like to notify you of the official results in the last race, event number 119, the men's Varsity 8B final. Your third place finisher is, of course, Bucknell. The second place finisher in this race, Washington State. So your winner is Boston College. Congratulations, Boston College.
And here we go. All of the crews are now locking back on to the starting blocks. UC Irvine, the last ones to reattach. They'll go through the entire process all again. There was a warning handed out to Purdue for failing to start, which means if they have a second warning, they will be excluded, but that's unlikely to happen here. This just tests the emotional elasticity and strength of these boats. Good coxswains have handled it properly, said the right things quickly. Guys have shaken stuff out. A couple of the strokes, turning back and talking to their crews quickly. A little bit of adjustment maybe on that first start that got going. It'll just make it an even better race in some ways. But who's going to handle the nerves? Again, the eerie silence of the start. Everyone's sitting about 2/3, 3/4 of the way up the slide. A little hunched over. They're aligning the boats silently from the side, and we don't have an alignment flag up yet, which means they're still adjusting to make sure all the boats are even. And the aligner's flag is up. And this means that all the boats are lined up properly. Just a light tailwind here. It should be a blistering fast race. And the second start is off. And crews are just pouring out of these blocks. These lightweights from Delaware up at a 50 on their starting sprint. Michigan at 46, Grand Valley at 47. And in the early days here, we have Michigan pushing up with UC Irvine. The two of those crews even. Grand Valley also up with them. And then North Carolina and Virginia right behind that. All up together. UCSB still in there. And we have, as they start to hit their strides here about a minute in, UC Irvine 2 seats up on Michigan. Michigan 3 seats up, or even now 2 seats with Virginia. Grand Valley also up in that pack of 4 crews who are leading. And it is UC Irvine and Michigan a seat up on Virginia. Virginia, Grand Valley even. North Carolina 3 seats back behind that. Santa Barbara, Delaware in sort of 5th and 6th, and Purdue hanging back on the far side. The race at 7:50, a minute and 50 seconds in, is absolutely dead even. Michigan and Virginia. Virginia putting a little surge here. And UC Irvine also even. Virginia now has their bow ball out in front, but here comes Michigan going back, and Grand Valley right in it as well, along with UC Irvine on the far side, and all 4 of those crews within 2 or 3 seats. Michigan now and Virginia, bow ball for bow ball, absolutely even, giving a great race. Michigan at 37, Virginia at 38.5, and coming through the 1,000, we have Michigan putting a little push up, taking a seat from Virginia. Grand Valley coming up also, and they are leaving Irvine behind. So it's these 3 Dadvale crews pushing up here now. Grand Valley pulling back up even with Virginia. Michigan 2 seats up. No one's going away. Michigan, a gorgeous loping 38, taking some seats here. Virginia also at a 38, trying to hold on. Grand Valley only 2 seats down to Virginia and pushing gorgeously with a reworked lineup, 38.5. North Carolina and UC Irvine are sitting right now tied in 4th, about 5 or 6 seats down. Michigan pushing out even a little bit more now, 5 or 6 seats up on Virginia. And Grand Valley moving back into Virginia as well, now in within a seat, moving up along with Virginia. North Carolina and Irvine pushing for 4th. Back on the back end of this, you have UC Santa Barbara 3 seats up on Delaware, who is 2 or 3 seats up on Purdue. 1,500 meters to go. The Virginia Coxswain sitting on the Purdue, on the Virginia 2-man. Grand Valley Coxswain looking over at Virginia, seeing where they are. This is going to be an awesome race here for silver between Grand Valley and Virginia. Grand Valley took the bronze last year. You know they would love to crack the silver here. Virginia, last year's silver medalist, trying to hold on to that position. North Carolina staying in there. Virginia bow to stern behind Michigan, who's pulling away a little bit. It's going to come down to sprint speed here between Virginia and Grand Valley. And they're hitting the last 250 meters. Michigan up in front. Michigan going to take this. Virginia just up over Grand Valley. North Carolina moving. Santa Barbara and Irvine blocked in another battle for the end of their season. And Delaware and Purdue racing hard. Huge loud crowd. Get loud.
.545.
And it is Michigan taking the win in this race event 120, your men's Varsity 8 Grand Final. Grand Valley makes a late and great charge and picks up second place over Virginia in third. Ladies and gentlemen, while we're awaiting our final awards ceremony for our men's Varsity 8 race, I'd like to remind you to be sure and go by and pick up an official event program for our 2015 ACRA National Championship. They're available for $1 and would make a great souvenir to take home from the event. And we like to say that we greatly appreciate your attendance and hope that you've enjoyed this racing weekend as much as we have. Thank you. And we are currently down at the awards dock to hand out awards for our last race of the day, Event 120, the men's Varsity 8 final. The big boys with the big boats moving mighty quick up and down the lake here. Your third place finisher is the University of Virginia. That boat is Cox by Jacob Power, and from Stroke Seat we have Andrew Heinsman, Charles Keith Castles Hamby, Perry Cox, Garrett Thomas, Riley Hazard, Scott Hagelson, Gage Wells, and in the bow seat, Forrest Brown. Your second place finisher is Grand Valley State. In the Grand Valley boat, we have, as the Cox, Rebecca Meyer. From Stroke, Austin Burris, Owen Homister, Robert Heiner, Austin Gentry, David Blythe, Chris Gagalis, Spencer West, and in your bow seat, Dominique Bialcini. Gentlemen, I would now like to present your winner of the men's Varsity 8 Grand Final. At Cox, Demi Shanahan. From Stroke, Alex Brown. Matthew Herbers. William Burstein. Mitchell Tyson. Alika Zeiker. Wes Veer. Benjamin Robitus. And from Bow, Dan Vitus. They are Michigan, your winners here at the 2015 ACRA National Championship. Let's give them a big hand.
Herbert.